I'm up and at 'em. I'm going to pop out to the grocery store for bagels and some snacky snacks. Then it's realtor day and I'm going to be meeting with a real estate agent to go look at houses for when we move to Alaska. Okay, I still haven't had my final interview. I still haven't gotten an offer. So again, I'm trying not to get too ahead of everything, but I want to move to Alaska. You can tell I am from around here. I came out and started the car and then went back inside and realized I didn't actually turn the heat on to warm up the car. Terrible. Was almost $46 after tax. Thank you to the real nice little dude at the self-checkout that entered his rewards number for me and saved me $8. So I don't normally buy prepackaged stuff like this to eat. If you eat prepackaged vegan food, you're gonna pay a lot more regardless of where you are. $45 for 2 full days of eating plus some leftovers is not that bad considering what I bought. I actually went to the trouble of comparing the prices to the nearest Safeway to East Tennessee, which is in Virginia. So for $46 worth of groceries, which will last me a solid 2 days of like prepackaged convenient vegan stuff, difference of about $6. The difference in grocery is definitely something to be aware of, but also it is what it is. So house hunting today was a little bit disappointing, but also parts of it kind of went better than I expected. The first house we saw was pretty promising. For one, it's at the top end of our price range, and we'd still need to do some stuff to make it better for us. There's not currently a place to park the RV. There's not a fence or a dog door solution. We need to factor stuff like that in our purchase price budget. The other 2 houses that we looked at, one was just insanity. It was a cabin that has been built on multiple times. There was a stairway built over a door, as in like the stairway covered half the door. It was wild. I can deal with a little funky, but it's overpriced and it's not in the perfect location, and its resale value is going to be garbage because it's a nonsensical floor plan. And the kitchen was really dark. There were no windows in the kitchen. All things that if everything else were perfect, we could get over, but the sum of its parts were less than the individual parts. I don't know. The opposite of how the saying's supposed to go. And then the final house we looked at was a fixer-upper, which could have been fine, but it wasn't priced as a fixer-upper, and we just don't have money to play with right now. But she gave me a tour around northern Kenai, and that was really cool. I got to see the super old Orthodox church and the inlet. And honestly, I might go back out to the inlet tomorrow because it was gorgeous. And I want to spend a little bit more time seeing how pretty it is.
Tomorrow.
It is early in the morning. I was awoken at 5 o'clock in the morning by snow shoveling. My room is in like the very back of the hotel, and the back porch is right like on the other side of this wall. And they were shoveling snow off of the wood, and that was loud. And then they were shoveling out the parking spaces and the walkway, and that was loud. And then they brought a truck and hooked it to a snowplow. Listen, I take 15 tries to hook a tractor to a trailer on Farming Simulator. So I know that just like hooking up a snowplow to a truck is not as easy as I think it should be. But also, oh my god, it took forever and there was so much beeping and scraping and clunking and whew, I missed my RV. So I'm awake and I'm gonna go try and find some Christmas lights. I'm at Soldotna Creek Park to see Christmas lights. It is like 8 o'clock in the morning. It's not actually that early. It feels very early. It's completely pitch black. There is no one out here. But I came to see the pretty colorful Christmas tree, and there it is, and I love it. I came out here before it got light and I was too scared to try to walk out through the snow. But now the sun is out. Well, the sun is out and this place is gorgeous. It's heckin' windy. I am about to head back to Soldotna proper to speak with the lender, and then I'm gonna figure out what else I need to see today. So essentially the lender said, get an offer and we'll talk. Apparently bridge loans are not as common as I believe they were, and it's kind of a huge deal to try to buy a house before our house sells. I'm not sure where this leaves us. Everything's still up in the air with the job offer. I think this makes it more important for the job to be flexible as far as my start date. If they want me to start immediately, I'll probably end up having to come up here alone and stay here in like a hotel or extended stay while Derek gets the house on the market, sells it, puts everybody in the RV, and drives the RV up alone. And that's suboptimal for a lot of reasons. I knew this wouldn't just be stress-free and super easy, so I'm trying not to be too stressed out about it because it's just gonna be what it's gonna be, and it's fine. So I have the rest of the day to go explore. I pulled into a dog park just to sit and collect my thoughts. As stressful as it is, I am still in Alaska, and it's kind of my last day in Alaska because tomorrow is just going to be in the office and then I'll be driving. So we adventuring. So I am at Clam Gulch State Recreation Area, and holy cow, I did not expect to just be able to walk a little bit and then be overlooking the bay. This is so gorgeous. Unfortunately, visibility is super limited. It's foggy, cloudy, icky, and you can't see the mountains on the other side. But still, this place is beautiful. Okay, so I'm at the Kasilof River and the actual park itself is closed, so I had to walk in. And I did not find a place to look at the river that was accessible by me and my knee. So that's gonna be a spring trip. It is very cold. And there are moose tracks. Only like 2 o'clock local time, but I woke up to snow shoveling outside at like 5, and I didn't go back to sleep because 5 feels like 9 to me. So I'm tired. Today was pretty successful. I went back to the realtor's office to talk about a couple more things with her, and then she got me set up with the lending agent that she prefers. That conversation wasn't really super fruitful, to be honest. I think it was pretty premature to go talk to him, honestly, but I don't have a good enough grasp of what the timeline's going to be to err on the side of not caution, if that makes sense. So it wasn't really a waste of time. It was just okay, I've confirmed that there's nothing I can do with financing yet. Went for a drive up the peninsula down Sterling Highway and got to see some pretty stuff. Now I'm having my freezer meal lunch, which is it's food. It's food. I'm definitely starting to feel stressed. I'm starting to feel the seriousness of I'm actually here for a job interview, not just an adventure. My brain is telling me a lot of very rude things about the job, about how good of a fit I am for the job, about how things are going to go tomorrow that are just honestly completely unfounded. Tomorrow is for me to make sure I fit there as much as for them to make sure that I fit there. So I'm trying to stay calm. Trying to just kind of keep going with it. The logistics of this are looming.
Day 4.
So it is my last day in Alaska. I'm pretty bummed, but I'm also very much ready to be home with Eric. This is the longest we've been apart since he was in the Navy. No, I visited my sister for a week. It's definitely the farthest we've ever been apart since he was in the Navy. I've really been impressed by Alaska. I am only more excited to be here, to move here potentially. I'm definitely stressed about the logistics of getting here. Getting here is going to be the hard part, and once we're here, I feel like we really are gonna have the opportunity to just start fresh. Apparently losing your job and deciding, screw it, I'll go to Alaska is not actually that uncommon of a thing, but most people don't actually have a job when they get here. It's difficult to collect my thoughts on the whole experience. It's been a whirlwind. I've been exhausted this whole time. I do not do awesome with time changes. So basically I've been kind of out of commission by 3 p.m. local time every day that I've been here, which is not optimal. Trying to keep reminding myself I'm not here on an adventure. I'm here for an interview, and I'm gonna make it an adventure. My brain knows it's fine. My anxiety is saying full panic, and my exhaustion and jet lag are saying just make another cup of coffee. The reality of my situation sitting here in a hotel room in Alaska rambling at a camera about a job is just, my brain's still catching up with reality. Okay, the lighting is suboptimal, and if I'm being honest, I look exhausted, which I am. But I finished up the interview. I think it went really well. I hope it went really well. I was there all day, which is expected. They gave me a heads up that was going to be the case. They had me run through like basically a networking lab where I set up a computer, and apparently I got further on that than they expected me to since I'm not an IT tech, so I feel like that's good news. I went out to lunch with the other technicians. I think that went really well. We seem to have a lot in common. We talked about like Ren Fair and costuming, a bunch of nerd stuff. They had me do a couple little exercises that weren't really general IT tech scope stuff that potentially they could give me some responsibilities. The main problem we're gonna have here is that I'm a software engineer. and I applied to an IT tech position, but I need a software engineer salary if I'm going to move to Alaska. They could hire an entry-level IT technician for half of what I've asked for. The salary I asked for is very reasonable for my skill set, but the problem is they don't need my specific skill set right now. They would be training me to be an IT technician, and then hopefully sometime in the future when their business needs evolved, then I could lateral into a software engineer position. So the question really is, do my skills align with their business needs and their current budget? And that's not up to me. And that's a hard place to be in, but it's also kind of a relief that, you know, I did their assessments, I jumped through their hoops, I think I gave them a pretty good idea of what I'm capable of, and now they just have to decide if that's an investment they want to make at this point in the business plan. I am on my way out of Soldotna, headed towards Anchorage. I drove a little bit just to gather my thoughts and called Derek and gave him an update on the interview. And now I'm heading toward Anchorage. I still have like 2 hours to get to Anchorage, and then I'll have like 6 hours to kill before I need to like board my flight. I'm gonna keep driving. Made it back to this really pretty spot, and I accidentally stopped in the same place that I stopped on my way out here, but it's just really pretty. The visibility is greatly reduced. It's, as far as driving goes, it's pretty much dark, but there's enough ambient light that like my camera's picking up pretty well. The camera doesn't do the blue of the water justice. This is the Kenai River. It's beautiful, and it's also a lot more fun to look at when it's 38 degrees as opposed to 20 like it was when I came through here. I don't want to leave this place, and I have plenty of time to stop if I see other things, but I'm losing light, so I don't know how much more I'll be able to video, and that makes me sad. I'm gonna get off the side of the road like a crazy lunatic YouTuber. I'm at a pull-off. It's fine. I'm safe. This is safe and responsible. It's fine. Just hit snow and I slid going 60 miles an hour. Holy shit. Did my whole pucker. I'm fine. It's fine. I handled it just fine. It happens. It's not a big deal. It wasn't an emergency at all. But boy, did it go from 0 to 100 real damn fast. I am exhausted. It is about 11 o'clock. I'm through TSA waiting at my gate. I finished my interview at about 3:34. Drove the 3 hours to Anchorage. Popped myself into a dive bar for 4 hours. made some new friends. Ate a car-thawed Alo table from Purple Carrot for dinner in the dive bar parking lot before dropping off my car at 11:30, or at 11. So I guess it's close to midnight now. Yeah, it's midnight now. I have about an hour and some change until boarding. And that's the epic conclusion of my Alaska adventure. I am exhausted. It feels like 4 a.m. to me. Every bit of 4 a.m. I don't know what's next. I don't know when I'm gonna hear back, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I will sleep a lot when I get home. Hopefully by the time all of these Alaska videos come out, I'll have a really big announcement to share. Thanks for joining me on this one. Catch you on the next adventure.